Hello everyone, it's Jennifer McCollum from Parent Teens. I am here today with Miranda Lamb. Miranda is from her website is called The Reluctant Cowgirl, and I hope she tells us why, because I think it's very interesting, her story. Miranda is an expert facilitator with parents and families at risk. She does in-person facilitation of these meetings, has been doing this for many years. Her website offers us a lot of amazing tools and really quick wins for our parenting life. So hello, Miranda.
Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for inviting me on.
Thanks for being here. I'd love for you to tell us, really, I want to know why you're called the Reluctant Cowgirl. And I know you're here today to talk to us specifically about creating a summer contract with our teens.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that, but I really want to hear how you're the Reluctant Cowgirl. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into this parenting world as well.
Well, I am a city girl married to a country boy, and a couple years ago he decided to break out from farming and buy some cows. So we had just remodeled a house and gone through a lot of changes, and so I wasn't quite on board with that. So the nickname, the Reluctant Cowgirl, kind of stuck from there. But I do enjoy the farming and the cows, especially when in the falls when we have our fall babies. So that's always kind of a fun time. And yes, I do. I work for the past 15 plus years. I've worked with groups. I do love working with families, in small groups. And then the last 8 years or so, I've been working with parents and teens that are struggling with truancy issues and kind of are more at risk and have been ordered through the courts to attend our 4-week classes. So that's always interesting work. I do enjoy that.
Mm-hmm. And I really have to back up a little bit about your cattle.
Oh, okay.
I grew up showing Angus cattle, and guess what kind of cattle Miranda has? Angus.
Yes.
I feel like we've got so much in common, although you're reluctantly doing that. I probably was too, but I grew up in 4-H showing these Angus cows at the fairs, and it is a beautiful life, but it's a tough life, isn't it, to be a farmer?
Yes, it is. It's
Mm-hmm.
long hours. And then my husband works a full-time job on top of all that. So he works a lot of hours, and the fair, it's funny you mentioned that, because that is such a big deal in this area. And I didn't quite grow up with that, but I mean, people take their whole vacation and take their trailers to the fair and just camp out there the whole week while they're showing their animals and stuff. So
That's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
So I love that you called your blog The Reluctant Cowgirl, because it really speaks to who you are and the life you're living. You've got a beautiful story. You've got 3 kids, and you've still got one at home. Is that right?
Yes, we've got one that's married, one that's graduating from the university, and then one 13-year-old girl still at home. So our ages are kind of spread out just a little bit.
So you've been there, done that, and are still doing it. So
yes, still in the middle of it.
Yeah. So I love on your blog that you have a lot of really quick wins for us as parents. And I really want to get to the nuts and bolts of something that I've been interested in, having 4 teens. Well, my oldest is 20, but
yes.
I still consider a teen.
I know, it is hard to make that transition.
It is. Although they'll always be our babies. Don't tell them that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't tell them. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to create a summer contract with your teens. So can you tell me, why should we create a summer contract?
Well, I started thinking about this last summer, and just as you go into the summer with the teens, or having one come home from college, and just kind of trying to make that transition where you're recognizing that as teens and, and older, they have their own thoughts and feelings. They have their own plans about what's going to happen, but they're still in our household. So how can we kind of make it a smoother transition into summer so that we're not in the middle of summer having arguments? So I started thinking about this idea of the summer contract, so that it would give parents an opportunity to sit down with their teens and talk about expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Just have a few discussions before we get into summer, hopefully leading to just good interactions with our teens and kind of figuring out, what are they thinking about or what's on their heart, but also kind of so that we can make that transition smoother, leading to a home that's less stressful and more where we're getting to enjoy the things that we love, So that was kind of the heart of the summer contract.
I love that. And that you mentioned, just expectations, because what you expect and think is okay is not always
yes.
what your team is thinking. So just to be on the same page, and it's all around communication. I love that. But to call it a contract, it kind of sets it up as a more professional, structured thought that you can even go back to and say, we had agreed on this. So I love that. So tell me what we would put in the contract then. Can you give us some ideas on what you would put into a teen contract for the summer?
Well, I think the first thing is just having those discussions. So doing that before summer starts, if you can. And it might take a couple times, because sometimes your teens may be like, I don't want to do that, or I'm thinking this, and we kind of need to walk away from the conversation and think about it. But the main thing is thinking about goals for the summer. I love making goals, and summer is a great time because it's just a 3-month period, 2.5-month period, depending on where you go to school. So it's nice to set goals that we can kind of start taking action on immediately, and that they're not too big. So summer goals. And I kind of broke that down into thinking about personal goals, things that they might want to challenge themselves on, an area. One of our daughters chose to make a goal about decreasing her swim time. So that was just something small, but that it was personal to her, and she wanted to challenge herself in that area. Another thing might be school goals with teens and thinking about college, sitting down and making some times where they may want to work on scholarships or looking up a college. They may want to go out and get a job, and, how can they work towards that and maybe save towards some stuff if they are wanting to do that. So you can kind of play around with the goals and kind of split it into different categories depending on what's most important to your teen.
I really like that. I kind of think of it like, as you're talking, I'm picturing this vision board, because I think, I don't know, do you ever find that some teens are kind of resistant to the idea when you say contract with them? Does that scare them away, or what? Do you have a suggestion on? I'm just thinking hypothetically, not saying my teens would be resistant to signing a contract.
Yes.
But if they were.
Yes. I think, especially when you get down to, and I do have a place on the summer contract where we talk about chores and expectations about helping around the house. Sometimes that could be like, oh, the teen wants to put the brake on, or curfew, and that kind of discussion. But I think if we kind of bring it back around to the idea of, we realize that they have a lot of things that they want to do, and that they're older. And so we're doing this as a form of respect. Let's just get it all out on the table and have a discussion about it. You're going to expect certain things, and I'm going to expect some things. Mom may expect that their teen pops out of bed at 8:30 every morning, and teens thinking, I'm sleeping until 12 or 1 every morning. So how can we make a little bit of maybe both happen, or a sleep-in day, something that we've already talked about. So the summer contract is more of a form of recognizing that our teens are growing up, and we don't want to treat them like kids. we don't want to treat them like little kids and just tell them what to do. But we do still have to abide by the house rules and live together. So we want to have a discussion about it. So that, I think that can be a great way to kind of lead the discussion in a positive way so that teens think, oh, this is going to be, good.
Mm-hmm.
Another way to add a positive spin is that on the summer contract, you can also put your bucket list, like your summer fun bucket list. What would your teens love to do? And how can you as a parent maybe make some of those ideas, happen?
I really like that. So you are going to approach them as, I'm not going to treat you like a kid anymore. Where I called all the shots all summer long. I told you what to do, what to eat, what to
Yeah.
Now it's a collaboration of what's going to work. I really like that. And the bucket list idea, I've always loved a bucket list idea. So is there, now I know you have a print off for us, which is fabulous.
Yeah, they can go onto my site and find there's a summer contract that's already set to go. And it has like the different goal categories and things that I thought you might want to put in there, like chores, summer curfew, bedtime, wake time. I also made a category, I think sometimes as our kids, probably especially our older teens, we may assign a chore to them. For example, with ours, one of them was mowing the lawn. Well, I'm not going to come and tell you exactly when to mow the lawn. So I'm going to kind of leave it up to my teen a little bit to look at the weather and look at their schedule that they've been given at work if they have a part-time job, and then come to me, once a week and say, I'm planning on mowing on this day. So that's not like a set thing. They kind of have to manage their time. And that kind of, again, gives them, a tone of respect, but also kind of teaches them that little skill of managing their time and scheduling something out.
That is a great transition from childhood to adulthood, because you won't be right there beside them forever. And
to say, okay, it's time to do this.
Right. I think that's wonderful.
But yes, the summer contract is on the link is on the parent teen site that they can get through over to my site, where it has it on the resource library available for them for free.
That's great. And this is just one example of what Miranda does. Like you have so much to offer on your blog. I think it's a great place for all parents to go and pick and choose what pieces they need. But this summer contract's such a great idea. I'm going and printing off 4 of them right now for my family. And I know they're all going to look different and unique, and just like all of our kids are. But it's wonderful that you have these resources for us, and they're free, right?
Yes. The resource library, once you have access to that, then there's lots of different printables about, some are meant for moms and growing personal growth habits. Some are kind of for the family or the teen. So those, I think, people will find very helpful. So I try to listen to my readers and what they might be needing and go from there. So.
Well, that is wonderful. So we can give suggestions too on what we need. That's
yes. Yeah, I also do a Facebook Live every Thursday, and I always ask my readers, if you have a question, just submit it to me. You don't have to even say your name, and I always try to address those when I get reader questions too. So,
isn't that wonderful? So after the video, I'll provide links to all the ways that you can connect with the Reluctant Cowgirl, find out more about her, and find out about all of the great resources on the blog, which is fabulous.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Miranda. I just am so honored that you spend time with us. You've probably got to get out, feed those cattle now, and
yeah, we head into my group facilitator job here shortly. So
that is wonderful. Yes. Well, thank you for sharing your expertise with us, and I'm sure we'll all be getting to work on our summer contracts. So thanks.
Oh, well, great. All right. Thanks so much, Jennifer.
We'll see you again. Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.